Hey, what's up, everyone? This is I guess either it's a late Saturday or early Sunday stream. Oh, man, what a long day. Straighten out some stuff here. Let me check my levels. I busted out my blue microphone, so I'm hoping that it doesn't suck. Do. I'm going to check the audio here in a second. Hello. It's way too high. Okay. Let's do a quick share to Twitter. Tweet. Twat. Okay. Dude. I think we're all right. I think we're good. Okay. All right, so it sounds like I'm coming through okay. I think we're all right. Let me mute this or else I'll listen to myself talk the whole time. So kiddo finally fell asleep. Puppy's winding down. I'm drinking some soda pop. And I'm working on this Gollum picture. Characters that I kind of been working on. Think about maybe doing a fantasy comic or something. My biggest problem is I can't decide what I want to do or settle on an idea. I just have these ideas and I got like draw them down and stuff. So, working on this fantasy character, and I'm really trying to work on my rendering. I think with my style, I'm just trying to render too damn much. I was trying to do like some different stuff. Let's see if I could drop this light down a bit. That's warm, cool. Let's do that. I think it might be just washing it out a little bit. Maybe if I scoot the light down itself. Looks like I'm losing lines there too. Maybe if I raise it up. I think that's better. Okay, so we'll keep it up. Seems you can actually see the lines here. So, okay. Excuse me. It's hard for me to see the chat, but it is what it is. So, okay. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to render too damn much. I was trying to do like some like a something like this, and then I was like outlining it, and then I just was going like this with the pencil, you know, and I liked how it looked. You can't even see that. So I like how it looked with the pencil. Then I tried to replicate it in ink, and it just looked like butt. So then I just colored everything in, and I added these little spike things here on the side, and yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe doing stuff in grayscale instead might fit the style more. I don't know yet. It is kind of frustrating, honestly. My wife and my daughter started watching Encanto before I went to work today, and I got to maybe the first song of this of the I didn't finish watching it. I had to ask them to see what they thought about it. Uh, the first song that they were singing was just bad. Like, it just was bad. Like, I'm like, "What are they talking about?" Um, and then the second song, or the one I remember, was about the strong sister, and I have that stuck in my damn head all day. That it had While I was at work, I had to go on YouTube and find out what the heck happened to Bruno. It seems like the theme of it's pretty deep, but I just watching it, I couldn't get into it. But maybe because we only watched it for I only maybe had 30 minutes before I had to take off for work. So I also been using I ordered some white gel pens and I've been using those in some of my work here. And actually I really like them. They're kind of neat. So I really like those. These are just run of the mill Amazon ones. I'm sure if there's might be some better ones. The thing is you can't like go over it a couple, too many times. Otherwise you like remove the white. So it's almost like you're using like a paint pen or a little bit of a whiteout pen. So I think I'm gonna finish inking this piece. I got this areas to black out. So he's like slamming his fist in the ground. This is like the ground coming up. But this kind of run of mill thing. I just wanted something to work on and ink and kind of mess around with. I had no idea what it was gonna be, or all I know I was gonna draw my golem, my stone golem. Let's see, we got our brushes, we got our pens. That's my charger I gotta put up here, or else the dog tries to eat it. So I think I'm gonna use a big old black marker, one of these Fiber Castels. It's a fat one. This one's fun to use. I'm gonna black this out. Maybe render a few things, man. Maybe I'll put some gray in the back. Maybe I'll do some color in the eye and the gems or something just to kind of make it pop a bit. And I think I'm gonna call it, I'm kind of done with this one. The problem is I get bored easy. I'm like, okay, let me just wrap this up. Let me just, you know, get it over with. So I watch Ethan and and how much detail he puts. I'm like, man, that would drive me freaking nuts, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm not cut out to be an artist. Maybe I ought to just try and write stuff instead. I can draw just to get the point across, and then, hey, you're better than me. Why don't you just do it? Let's do. Okay, these Fiber Castels for a long time. Probably when Ethan started his channel, because he was talking about these at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and that's what I got because they were cheap. These Millennium Zigs are pretty good. I've had these for years. Yeah, I just think I'm over rendering. I was watching PTP and I was watching him do some stuff on his channel, and I was like, I like that rendering. It's simple. It's not too much. It's like, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I'm just making shit too difficult. I got this S, but it's just never as thin as I want it to be. This SB. Or maybe I'm just too heavy-handed. Maybe I need a softer. Got into a long argument on Twitter today. I try not to argue on Twitter, but sometimes, man, it just sucks you in. Especially, you have these wackadoos come on your, not mine, but it's like, some kind of Coxgate thing where somebody's sharing something or talking about something. And, then you have these wackadoo virtual signaling SJW Yahoos come on and just start saying how everybody's trash and shit. And it's like, I'm pretty much like, what you're saying doesn't, like, you don't matter because you're not a creator. You're not creating shit. You're not buying nothing. You're just over here virtual signaling, talking about how much better that you are than you are at other, then, you're better than these other people just because you do X, Y, and Z and shit. And I'm like, you dude, man. Like, only losers do that shit. Like, he was talking about how, oh, I do trans activism and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Seriously doubt it. And so he screenshots a bunch of tweets and stuff. And it's like, okay, so you're going to screenshot tweets. You're not actually like helping people. If you are activist or you're for trans people, you're not actually like going and helping them. You're just tweeting about shit. So you're a Twitter activist, which means you're worth nothing. You're not helping anybody. You're full of shit. You wish you could help people, but A, you're too lazy, or B, you just want Twitter clout. So it became this kind of like long thing. But honestly, any reason for me to post Dave Chappelle gifs and with responses is it's kind of worth it for me. There's a Dave Chappelle gift for every situation. And I started off because he was like signaling so hard, calling everybody trash. I'm like, listen, usually people that try and virtual signal this hard, I mean, they're usually creeps. They got skeletons in their closet, or they know where bodies are buried, or they're attracted to kids, or there's some kind of weirdos when they're trying to virtue signal so hard. It's like they got they got skeletons in their closet, man. It's like overkill. So it's like, all right, man, what are you hiding, dude? So I said, usually when people virtue signal this hard, and of course he's responding to everything. Of course, he jumps in the thread and badmouths people, so then people are defending themselves. CGers are like, listen, you're full of shit, talking how we're racist, but look at all these, look at the minority content creators, for Comics Gate. And he's saying we're sexist and misogynist, but, here's like books worked on or written by or co-written by females like Yanzi and Mandy Summers and Reenie with Fiendish, and that's just the ones at the top of my head, and then there's also Charlie's London and these, but we're misogynists and we're back in these books. It's obviously they don't know what they're talking about, so I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're full of shit. Well, I help trans people, so you don't help nothing. I bet that shit never happened. And so I'm like eating. I come home from work and I'm eating, tweeting this fucking Yahoo. It's like, I think I gotta stop this shit. Though I did have a kind of a nice one because he was talking about, I was like, your words have no power here, man. You don't mean shit. Hey, what's up, Rain? Thanks for tuning in. This is an impromptu, either it's very late or it's very early live stream. But yeah, I gotta learn. I gotta learn and try and stay out of shit like that. I pretty much was like, listen, man, you can do whatever you want, but in the end, just realize that, with your, all you SJW guys and your virtual signalers and all this shit who are pretty much killing any art form because you guys are being a bunch of Karens and shit. I said, just remember, we don't need you. Nobody needs you. You don't buy anything. You don't contribute to anything. You're not needed. We don't need you. Comicsgate does not need people like you. So you can hem and haw and do whatever you want. It's not like we're fighting for your dollar. And he's like, well, I was like, yeah, words of a Twitter activist don't carry no weight. Not in the real world, anyway. Twitter's not like the real world. I like trains too. But then he was like, well, your buddies think that I carry weight. And it was too easy. It was too easy, man. He was a chunky dude. And listen, I'm a chunky dude too. We know our own, So I said, listen, we all know you carry weight, buddy, but not in the way you think. We know you carry weight, man. He's like, well, you're welcome for the setup. And I said, well, there's a typical SJW. You go ahead and you try and take credit for the work that came before you. Somebody else does all the work who was before you. And then you turn around and cry why people don't like your shit because it's not as good. So I'm like, don't take credit for the joke that I made, buddy. But anyway, yeah, I was like, I gotta get off this Twitter shit, man. Every once in a while, I get sucked into shit like that. Drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I was like, I know I'm better than this, but sometimes I just can't keep my mouth shut. I think I get that from my old man. So what you up to, Rain? Just chilling. It's an uneventful stream here, so appreciate you popping in and saying hello. I gotta move my light down. It's blocking my screen here. So just a progress report. This is a character that I'm working on. Thinking about writing a fantasy book. And just wanted something to work on. So this is my stone golem, who will be kind of the protagonist. I came across a story and I was like, man, they should have did this, this, and this. When I talk to people, they're like, yeah, that totally makes sense. I was like, yeah, right. They're like messed up. Like, it's like these people don't know how to write. And I'm not a writer, but I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to do a story. I'm going to do that in my story instead. You know, why should we sit here and wish the mainstream writes stuff that we would like when we could just write our own shit? Just chilling. It is 1 o'clock in the morning here where I'm at. I'll probably go for about 45 minutes. Let me know how this microphone is working out too. This is a new mic I'm using. Well, you can see that. I'm just coloring these rocks here on the bottom. I gotta start drawing some popular stuff or something. I don't know, man. Start drawing something popular so I can sell it. I think it'd be neat to sell some artwork. This is actually marker paper that I'm using. It's not too bad. I mean, I used it on one picture and all the colors came out weird. Okay, cool. The sound's all right. It's close, but it's not too close. It's not in my way. So I don't want to, I don't want it too far, but I'm trying to do a nice balance. I don't want to make out with the damn mic either. So how'd you come across the stream, Ray? Did you see it on the Twitter or did it just pop up in your feed or are you one of my 11 subscribers to the channel? My whole 11? I'm waiting to get some. Actually, I got to edit quite a few comic reviews I did too, which are quote unquote kind of reviews. Usually I find something that's cool and I'll share it with you guys, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, pros, cons and get too deep into it. It's just not how I like to do things. Let's do small brush. Oh, I just searched comic live streams. Awesome, dude. Well, glad you came across here. If you haven't had a chance and you want to see some more, just try and hit that subscribe button. You could be number 12. You know, subscriber number 12. I just want to get to 100 so I can actually get a URL instead of having a bunch of weird numbers and letters. I'm a nerd, though. I love the drawing streams. Probably was some of my favorite stuff. When you get to see how like professionals actually do it, I think that's the most interesting stuff to me. Thanks, Rain. Appreciate it, man. I'm trying to stream more often. I did a earlier stream today. I maybe like twice, 3 times a week. My main thing that I do is what's really easy for me is the time lapse stuff. So I've been messing around in Procreate and I'll do drawings in Procreate and then I'll just upload the time lapse in like 30-second videos. Um, so there's a whole playlist of those. So time lapses is a lot most of just because it's so easy. I don't have to edit nothing. I just hit click, upload, and title it, and then slap some music on it and call it a day. My time is limited because I am a father and I do have a full-time job, so it's a little tough. So that's why I'm doing streams at weird times, either early in the morning or late at night. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to stream more just because it's nice content and I get to talk to people and that's kind of what makes it fun. So yeah, definitely there's a and then also comic reviews. I have about 3 or 4 of those I have to edit. I filmed them all at the same time and I just have to edit them and then upload them. So I think I have I'm trying to think which other ones I have here in the pipe. I have a Dragon Ball art book that I review. Um, called Dragon Ball Visual History. It's an awesome book. Has just a bunch of the Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. I think even like GT and Super stuff, but it's not the comic stuff. It's like a lot of the promotional items and a lot of the covers that were in like Show and Jump and stuff. So that's a neat book. Another one I got here that I have to edit is Battle Chasers. So I bought the Battle Chasers. Um, I guess it's like the whole collection right now. So I reviewed that one too. So I have to edit that and put that up. So I'm trying to upload a review a week, and then the rest is going to be live streams and art. So that's the idea. I think the latest review I did was I did Common America Volume One, and I'm waiting for I think I have one. No, I think I got two more books coming in too. Two more. I have an Ash Can coming in. Um, and then I have a kick. Actually, I have two kick. I have an Indiegogo. Actually, two Indiegogo campaigns that I should be getting soon. That I'll probably be unboxing here on the channel. Maybe I'll do it live. Maybe I'll film it. All depends when I get the stuff. Um, 'Cause I think doing them live is a lot easier. So I might just wait to do them live because then, like I said, it's less editing. Editing is kind of a pain in the butt. And the stuff that I show, like I said before, is stuff that I think is neat. So I'm not gonna get like I'm not a reviewer, so I'm not gonna like get something I don't like or find interesting, and then like tell you about it unless like I order it and it just completely stinks, and so to like warn you guys, like, hey guys, like this is what you're in for, like just so you know, or don't buy it. But I'm not like buying I don't have a pull list. I don't, go to the comic book store regularly or anything like that anymore. I haven't done that since like probably like 98. A lot of the independent stuff got me into comic books again and drawing again. A lot of the Cyber Frog and Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb is a really cool book that I want to get into more. Common America and just independent creators putting out their own content. That's cool, exciting, simple, nothing too crazy, um, and that you can jump right in. So, but recently though, I really been getting into the big manga volumes. So I got for Christmas, I actually made out like a bandit. I got the first 3 volumes of Battle Angel Alita. Um, they're the big books, like they're big, and I like it that they're big. I don't like the small man. I'm sorry, I'm old, man. Uh, I turned 40 this year, man. So I don't want to, I don't want to read tiny books, dude. So they're big and they're hardcover. So I put them on a bookshelf. So I got the first 3 volumes of that. Awesome. I feel like I've been missing out on Alita this whole time. I know it was good, but I didn't know it was that good. Super good. Then I got the collection of Ghost in the Shell. It's like the first volume, then like a 1.5 story, and then volume two. Again, it comes like it's 3 volumes, comes in a whole like a big cardboard like slip case, and you put it on your shelf. It's awesome. Um, that one's okay. I do like Masumi Shiro's art, but the story itself is kind of dragging, and it's not as interesting as Alita is. So, so I got those, you know, but yeah, I'm just kind of over. I think the next one I might get is that either I'm gonna finish the Alita volumes, and then maybe jump to Last Order, um, or I might get Blade of the Immortal because that was a really cool one. I have a couple issues of that I bought back in the day that are actually comic book size. And that one, Blade of the Immortal is interesting. I'm not sure how the reprint is, the big reprint, but the ones that I got that was the actual comic, like they were American comic book size, they scanned it, they scanned them, they printed them, and then they had to cut out all the panels and then lay them correctly so it was like an American comic book. And it was neat. So that's a really cool one that nobody talks about, Blade of the Immortal. It's about this. It's like a feudal Japan about this immortal samurai that has like these called manji, and he has like um these like I guess maggots or like worms inside his body that heal him. And then he has like he's known for having they nicknamed him a blade because he has like all these crazy like blades inside his kimono and shit. So it's pretty cool. And the art's phenomenal. The action's really good too. Yeah, what's the newer stuff? I read, I don't know. For me, some of the newer stuff, um, a lot of it looks the same to me. I know I get into Berserk, but I feel like I mean, not that Berserk is new, honestly. I seen the first animated series like back in like '95. Uh, no, maybe like 2000. Yeah, it had to be 2000 because I think it was after the Berserk game came out on the Dreamcast. Um, So, yeah, there's just so many now, a lot of them look the same. I watch My Hero, that's kinda good, I like that since day 1. I started watching some Demon Slayer, but it's weird. I'm bizarre, man, because like, I'll get into something, and all of a sudden, like, I'll get into it really heavy, and I'm like, "Oh," and I'll watch, like, everything, and all of a sudden, I'll just stop. Um, so if you could recommend some newer stuff I was liking Vigilantes, My Hero Vigilantes was pretty good. One Punch Man, I liked One Punch Man. I really liked Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100, I think was really neat because it looks so different. And I feel like a lot of the anime today, like a lot of it looks the same. I was trying to check out Fire Force. Saw like one or two episodes of that. I was like, okay. So I might check out that Jujutsu Kaisen. I heard that was pretty neat. Probably one of my favorite ones of all time, though, is Hajime no Ippo, the boxing one. That anime is awesome. You can just like watch it all on YouTube. I think Madhouse does the animation for it. And I would collect it, but they never translated it. So Hajime no Ippo has never been translated to English. So it sucks. And I don't want to bootleg it either. I don't want to go online and read bootlegs of it. I want to actually own, like, they need to like grab it, put in these giant ass volumes. This has been around since like the 80s. Yeah, somebody was explaining Jujutsu Kaisen, and like I didn't know what it was, but it's pretty much like about like martial artists and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well that sounds pretty interesting. I didn't know what it was. Sometimes some of the character designs too get kind of weird and ridiculous. But I guess I'm just kind of old fashioned. I do love the older anime, like the golden age of anime stuff, like late 80s, early 90s stuff. One I've been to pick up again is Gunsmith Cats. Yeah, Ippo is. It's been a long time. Yeah. I just was watching the show. I love the art too, like the way he draws or the way he draws the action and you can like feel the impacts of some of the punches or the special moves that they do. Man, it's just so damn good. I'll never understand how these guys can, like, draw, like, their speed lines and stuff like that. Like, it's like, man, how do you not, but again, that's, I mean, you're talking thousands of hours of practice and techniques and stuff, where you can feel like the guy, just the way they do the layouts, and not the layouts, but, like, when the guy will punch, they'll show him at the end of the punch, but then the guy, you could tell the guy is, like, just feeling the effects of the punch, and he always does, like, these white lines coming out of him. Doro, huh? Okay, it's on Netflix. Cool. So the whole manga. Okay. That's one thing I don't mind either. Like, I don't mind it when an anime ends. If you have a story to tell and you finish it, I'm like, cool. That was a nice story. Let's move on to the next thing. That's why I don't understand why people keep trying to mess around with Cowboy Bebop. Like, Cowboy Bebop is so perfect, and just the way it ended and the way it wrapped up everything, it's like, don't touch it. And then they try to make a live action, and it's just like, you're doomed. You were doomed. Even if they tried to make it the best thing ever, it was never gonna live up to it, I think. Probably the latest one I watched and finished was Megalobox. Megalobox was really good. I liked that one. Especially because I think it's like 8 episodes, maybe 10 episodes, and then it's over. Yeah, now there's just so damn many. It's almost oversaturation. Yeah, I heard they did a season 2 of Megalobox. I'm almost afraid to check it out because I loved season 1 so much. That I was like, "Why?" Like, I felt like that's another thing. I felt like Megalobox, like season 1, I felt like that was it. Like, you have your one-off story, here's the thing, here's what happens. Exactly. Season 1 was a perfect full story, it was good. I don't know if I'm gonna watch season 2 because I don't want it to ruin season 1 for me. It's like, "Stop it." Yeah, it was like, cool, it was a nice ending, everything was sad, you're like, "Great, this was good." Like, awesome. Sometimes they just kind of, they poke the bear too much and they mess up what they got. I know sometimes I almost feel like the way, especially the way it works in, um, in Japan, it's like the team, they'll do something, they'll finish it, and then they can use that to do something else. And I feel like here in the West, we need stuff like that, you know? We need like, hey, here's, the studio that brought you this. They did this. All right, cool. Now they're telling this story. And I think there's more things to be explored than just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, they're also creating their new IPs as well to tell these stories, which is nice. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's kind of the future. You have something, you have a team that works on something and they put it out. And then when they're done telling their story, they're done telling that story. At least for now, they can always bring it back, maybe if they want to. But you tell your story, you don't drag it out. And then, okay, now they're going to go work on something else. Neat. There's nothing wrong with stuff ending. Like, I almost feel like people here in the West are so afraid of ending something. It's like, just tell the story. But it's like sometimes they wanna milk stuff when it's, like, so dead. To cut it out already. So, I'm kinda glad that one thing I like to use is that example, um, for something like that too, even, like, in terms of gaming, is like Dark Souls. I'm like, the Dark Souls franchise, sure, they grabbed stuff from Kingsfield and kinda had everything kinda related oddly, but, Dark Souls 3 was the end. I'm like, "Neat, cool." It was a nice story. I love Souls. It's probably my favorite franchise probably in the past God knows how long, and, I'm like, "Cool, they told their story. I can't wait to see what they do next." And Sekiro was good, and Bloodborne was really good. Bloodborne was a trip. Like, that thing was nutty. And then now they're doing Elden Ring, which I can't wait for. And it's like, cool, let's hear another story. Like, I'm ready to see these guys do a take on a different story. It doesn't always have to be Dark Souls, you know. You can reference it, but do I kind of feel like I'm wondering if Elden Ring is going to be kind of loosely tied to the Souls series? Because I always have to have some giant big ass tree, you know. Even like they had the shields and in Dark Souls, was it Dark Souls 2? And even in 3, they had the shield with the giant tree on it, and then you watch an Elden Ring, the trailer, and what do they show? They show a giant ass glowing tree in the middle of the place or whatever. You're like, "Okay, there's the giant tree." So I wonder if they're gonna drop hints at stuff at the Souls series and maybe be loosely tied to it. But it's like, "Cool, I'm good. You told the story, there's nothing wrong with the story ending, it's nice." Stop milking stuff too much because then it's not special. You mentioned Ipo has a lot of, a lot of chapters. Freaking One Piece, man. I think that's something that I'm never gonna get into. I'm never gonna try and watch One Piece, man. There's just so much to it. I mean, let's sit there and watch it, like, freaking for, like, 3 years straight or something. I don't know, man. I ain't got that kinda time. But then that's also odd duck too, because it's like, I mean, One Piece has been around for so long, and it does so well for so long. It's like this weird anomaly. I mean, it has to be good. Yeah, Elden Ring looks kinda nice. It looks different. I don't know if it's gonna be any easier. I saw the first trailer, the very first trailer, um, and, I don't know if it's gonna be, like, super hard like the other ones, but, um, it's more open world. It kinda reminds me of the way they have the mounts and stuff, kinda reminds me of, like, Breath of the Wild or something like that. So it does look more like, I don't wanna say easier, but it doesn't look so damn horror, dark, hopeless, you know? and I'm pretty sure I can't remember if they're doing. I know there's some kind of co-op. I don't know if they're doing I don't know if they're doing 4-player co-op on it, but I think the other ones, Dark Souls, always had the co-op. You just had to meet the certain standards to do it. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like at least have a plan, you know, to have it end. That's what I think they're doing with Berserk. I think because it's usually never just one guy. Like you have the guy working on it, but usually the was it mangakas? Usually they have like, they'll have assistants who will they'll like give them the roughs and they'll lay out everything. And then they'll come in and do the finishing pieces and draw faces and stuff like that. But they'll have somebody do background work and things like that. So usually it's not just like one guy. Um, I'm trying to think who I was watching. Unless I think Junji was it Junji Ito, the horror manga guy. I think he's just he's just by himself. I think. Um, but I think what I heard was that I guess his assistants they know how Berserk was gonna end, and so I think they're gonna wrap it up. I guess to give closure to the story. So there's always that possibility when you have somebody close to the creator, you know, these things never thin enough. Um, can maybe finish it because at least they know they have some kind of outline what they want to do. Yeah, because it's a sin to have something that long and then never finish it, man. It's like, especially if you've been reading it for that long. And that's the kind of a thing too. It's like I wonder, like, let's say next year he finishes One Piece. I'm not sure where the anime is, because I'm sure the anime can probably still go on for a couple years, probably easy because there's so much source material. I don't think the anime is that close to the manga, you know. But let's say if he wanted to finish it up next year, let's say this is going to be last year and he was going to wrap it up. And let's say he wants to wrap it up. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know. Um, they want to wrap up One Piece because they want to work on something else. Because One Piece is so popular and so big and has been going on for so long, it's going to be hard for the creator to match One Piece's success or even how good it is. So that's another kind of thing too. When you have something that big, and um, I mean, just look at Akira Toriyama when he stopped doing GT. Like I guess with Dragon Ball GT, he like stopped and wanted to work on other stuff. And so I guess I don't know if he gave it to other people like to work on, like, and I think he might like saw it or whatever, but he wasn't doing the animation or anything like that, and it looked different. And people lost their damn minds. They're saying GT sucks, GT that, and it's just like I think it was because of uh, Toriyama wasn't like involved like he was with the other ones. So there's always that too. But at the same time, it's like if I mean I think they've earned the right to work on other stuff. But then again, when you have something that you've been working on for so long, it's like, do you trust somebody else with it? So there's a lot of factors to it. That looks pretty cool. Oh God, that's way too thick. Oh shit. Okay, check that out. That's what this is for. We're just messing around. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I wonder what I can do. Let's see. Maybe I'll put some color on that. often do they put those out too? Like, I don't know if it's like it's every because I know a volume is a collection of strips from from the paper from Shonen Jump. So I'm wondering how often do those come out every week, or do they come out every month? The strips first and like Shonen Jump, Shonen Jump. Mm, try this green. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Not bad. It's a weekly, man. Okay. What are they doing? How many pages is that? Like 20 pages, 22 pages? I have to look. I should look at My Hero. And then the volumes, that means the volumes come out what, monthly? Yeah, working on something that long. I think you should, yeah, like 20. Okay. That's the thing too. Like I know they're known for their speed and stuff, but I almost feel like sometimes they're working themselves to death, man. That's why I'm like, I know sometimes I don't know if Rain, if you follow like Comics Gate or crowdfunding comics at all. And I'm not defending creators who don't put out their books, but like imagine if you had, yeah. It would just like, so imagine you had, and even some guys take a break. I mean, look at Berserk. The guy who's working on Berserk, like he would take like long breaks, like years and stuff. Um, but like, so imagine you have One Piece. They're doing 20 pages a week or whatever, right? The quality that you're getting is 20 pages a week. That's the quality that you're getting. Now imagine if that same creator is like, listen, I'm going to do this book. I think it's going to take me a year to do, and it's going to be 40 pages. And then months go by and you see him working on this stuff and he's working on it. So it's not like it's not going to come out. And you guys are pro, so you understand. You're like, okay. And he's like, you know what? Now it's not 40 pages. Now we're doing 60 pages. And you know what? It's going to be another year for me to work on it. But then you're like, you don't, you're crowdfunding the book because you know what they do in a week. Now, what do you think you're gonna get if he's able to take his time? And that's what I wanna see, and that's my defense in terms of stuff taking long. Now, if you're procrastinating and stuff and things happen, I understand that, but if you can just, like, imagine the type of quality you would get from the guy who worked on Berserk or One Piece or, any of these, Shonen Jump games, you know, mangas, they're good. They're good. But just imagine if they're like, "Listen, like, I'm gonna work on this one book, this one 60-page book for 3 years, 2 years. That's what I'm gonna work on." And then just the amount of quality that you get from them on top of them being able to take their time and work on something. That's what I think that's my argument, and that's what I think what makes it worth it is for these creative artists, if they're able to make an audience like that and they can actually take their time and put out the best they possibly can. In that aspect, I'm like, to hell with deadlines. As long as it's gonna come out and it's not gonna take 5 years or, or something ridiculous. But when you get that book, you're like, this is the best that he was going to be able to do. Like I wanna see the best that they possibly can do. I think that is crazy, and that stuff like that blows my mind. And so, I know people like Ethan, when's the book coming out? When's the book coming out? It's like, well, the book's already late. You could release a shitty book, it's still going to be late. So why rush it? And granted, other things come up and he's taking stuff to the post office and shipping other things too. And that's another thing. I'm wondering, some of these guys, are they shipping stuff themselves, or because they have some of these other indie guys like to talk smack about it, but are they shipping stuff themselves, or are they have somebody ship it? Like, is that dudes, like, are the creators' wives, like, actually shipping the damn book? Like like, packing it and shipping it, or are you having somebody else fulfill it for you? Because that's a whole whole 'nother thing too. We'll see how this looks. I don't know, we're just messing around. Yeah, whatever, man. We're just Sure. So I know people get caught up in the deadlines, but I'm like, "Whatever. If as long as you give me a better book, I'm down. I'm down, man." And then it's the same people that's like, "Oh, deadlines for the book," and then they'll turn around and won't even complain about when a game is delayed for a year. I'm like, "Listen, if you're gonna complain about a book being late, then you better sit here and complain about Metroid Prime 4 or something, man, because, sometimes it's a good thing if something's delayed. Maybe something gets fixed. Maybe it's gonna be better than what it was." So that's kinda my argument. If these manga guys wanna get into crowdfunding, I guess it's seen like a taboo or whatever. But if these mega guys wanna get into crowdfunding and stuff, I think that they've done their time enough that they deserve to take as long as they want with a damn book if it's crowdfunded. Yeah, for marker paper, this still bleeds. Then again, I guess when you get marker paper on sale, I can't complain too much. I mean, this shit was dirt cheap. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with these either. I'm just coloring shit in. Let's see. Let's get a little bit of white. Let's see what we can do with some white in there. Maybe a couple little highlights. I think it won't make it look so flat. 'Cause it's almost like you can't press too hard with these white pens. I do like being able to draw white on stuff. It's actually kind of neat. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, those guys have it down to a science. Those, yeah, like, Tim got that they got that stuff down, man. To their credit, that's amazing. At the same time, though, there's another argument that I usually make is like and again, I always go to the games because that's how my brain works, is you have the Common America and those guys, and again, not to I don't wanna knock them because, I'm waiting for the omnibus to come in. I buy their stuff too. When you look at the level of detail in the drawing and even in the colors, you have like, again, not to knock them, but you have those, Tim and Common America and Black Hops. That's like Hollow Knight. And then you look at the level of again, you look at the level of detail that Ethan's putting into his stuff and Kyle Ritter with the colors, you know, that's Dark Soul shit. They're both good, but they're different, you know. They're like I said, I'm not trying to knock one or the other. They're just different. The level of detail that Ethan is putting. I mean, the guy's sitting there drawing, rendering trees, and it's like a whole stream. He's working on like one panel, and you see like the detail that he's putting into it. You're like, Jesus Christ, man! Like, I like kudos to him for putting that much detail in the panel, bro. You're like, holy shit, man! Like, oh my god. And then you go look at the again different styles, totally different things, but that's how I look at it. It's like you have one guys are working on Dark Souls, and other guys are working on Hollow Knight. They're both good, but they're just different, and there's different degrees. Now, granted, was Ethan working on the book every day? I don't think so. I don't think he was working on the book every day. Could he have finished faster? Probably. But at the same time, it's like, do these guys get to deserve to take their time as long as they put out a quality product? I think so. But that's just me in terms of the artist because I want the artists to be able to make their money, and to make a living and support themselves. So, but then again, you're expecting a certain level of quality. I think sometimes people would just get too hung up on the deadlines. But yeah, that's one of the books I'm waiting to come in. I should be getting the Common America Omnibus coming in soon. That and I got the um She Volume 1 coming in as well. So those are the two packages I'm waiting on. It snowed over here and it doesn't snow over here. So I think the post office was just, I think a lot of my stuff is going to be late. Hopefully none of it got lost. But, I'm all for, creators being able to take their time and get paid properly. Because that's what I want. I don't want an average product that I'm going to buy off the store shelf. Like I feel like with like the detail with Cyber Frog, you know, that you get with that, like that, there's no way that could come out monthly. But you can pick up. I feel like you could pick up Common America or Black Hops and be like, yeah, that's a monthly title. That could come out monthly. But when you look at the detail that it's coming into the other one, Ethan stuff, or at least the Cyber Frog, it's like this couldn't come out. It'd be impossible for this to come out monthly. And I feel like that's also a selling point too, because it's different. You wouldn't just get this from a monthly title. Yeah, no, I'm waiting. I'm counting the days till I get my Common America Omnibus because I bought Volume 1 and then I bought the crossover. So I don't know what happens in like 2, 3, and then Volume 4. Instead of buying Volume 4 separate, I just got the omnibus that has Volume 4 in it. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with that. But yeah, I think CG has evolved into it because I haven't been following it long because I haven't really been into comics lately, or for a while. And then that kind of started getting me back into comics again. And let me start drawing and messing around and see, and then maybe I can make my own book or something. That would be something that's neat. It would be kind of fun. Even just to put one thing out and to be like, "Hey, look, I put something out, I did it." So, yeah, I have a couple ideas. I have this one. I don't think I'd do an ongoing series with this fantasy book. I think I would just do, like, one little small story or something and put it out, maybe a little ash can or something. I have another character I'm thinking about maybe doing, weekly strips, like a Dick Tracy style, where you would have 1 page a week, but that 1 page would be like an episode unless it would, like, fall into a next week two-parter or something. But simple stuff like that, I'm thinking might be fun, and that's doable. Or do like a Garfield style. Yeah, same here, man. I came across Zach and I thought it was hilarious. Old school Zach ripping up the comic and throwing it at his heater, his space heater. I'm like, he's gonna set his house on fire, dude. Like, and I haven't read, I mean, I got out of comics probably like 98, 97. I just kind of got over them. There just was too much. That this Clone Saga killed it for me. Like I loved Spider-Man. Clone Saga came out, and I just was like, "What is happening?" So that's when I got out, and then I'm hearing what's happening to these characters and stuff. And even like I would go and they do the movies and whatever. And I think the last series I bought like religiously was like Ultimate Spider-Man. I think I have like the first like 25 issues, of Ultimate Spider-Man. But yeah, then that started getting kind of weird, and I was like, you know, they even did Venom, and it was interesting, but I didn't like it too much. So I was always kind of on and off here and there, you know, buying stuff. And then it was like a long time I didn't buy anything. And then, yeah, again, your YouTube feed. YouTube sometimes gives you the weirdest shit in your feed sometimes. Like out of nowhere, they'll just put a restoration video for like a 1970 or like a 1920 roller skate. And you're just like, what? And then you're sitting there watching this guy restore this. So I'll sit there and watch it. Watch this dude like restore like a butcher knife from like 1875 or so, or like an old toy, like a metal toy from like 1910 or something. You're just sitting there watching it. So it's like one of those things that just pops up in your feed, and you're just like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it, I guess. And yeah, and then I started watching these things, and I was like, that sounds horrible. And then I would go and try and look at them too, and just try and look at the comics myself. And I'm looking at these comics, I'm like, this is horrible. Like, but I guess it's kind of a booster too, because you're just kind of like, if these guys can work at Marvel, shit, anybody can put out a comic. Some of these writing and some of the art is just like doo doo. It's like, whoa, man, if you ever doubted yourself, talk about a confidence booster, man. Maybe I'll put a darker gray or darker green. Let's try this one. Maybe a little bit of this is a little bit in here. Well, say it is what it is. Looks very Green Lantern esque. That was one thing that freaked me out about Zach too. Is like you're watching this guy do all this stuff, like these videos and stuff. You're like, yeah, like this totally makes sense. And he's like, and that's what I don't get. It's like he's just like ripping. You know what I mean? He's just like giving, like you give people shit. Like that's all it is. You know what I mean? Like he's just giving these comic book creators shit. Like the same way you give anybody else shit. You know what I mean? And they were just like, oh, it's hate speech and blah 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 and all this. You're just like, what? Man, these people are weirdos, man. And then that's what they keep on saying, "Oh, Confiscate is hate speech." I'm like, "Listen, nobody's rougher," you know what I mean? Like, you should if you think that's, the way they talk about these pros and stuff sometimes is hate speech and bigotry or whatever, you should hear them talk to each other because a lot of CG creators and stuff, man, they're just giving each other shit, like, the same way buddies would. But, I mean, how many streams are always calling Ethan fat? This is hilarious. They pay to call Ethan fat and have him read it. Like, that's hilarious. It's just like, dude, if that's not I don't know, man, if if that's not malicious, dude. Like, I don't know, man. Let's try maybe put a little bit here, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I like this, but we'll throw some in there. I gotta fill this one in. This is the only one that looks weird. I tell you, man, I got that damn Kanto song stuck in my head. Oh, Jesus. But it's only one song, one part of the song because I don't know the whole song. Yeah, even though he's fat, he is beautiful. I mean, man, the confidence of this guy. Like, I tell you what, he's been through some shit though, man. It's like and then to come out the other side and stuff. I mean, kudos to him. Kudos to all the stuff that him and his family has to put up with, man. And then his daughter's on autistic on top of that, so that's another thing you gotta worry about. Man, I tell you what, dude, you can take as long as you want on that damn book, man. It is what it is. I wonder if I can let's see if it's too wet. Maybe too wet. No, I'm getting away with it. Sometimes it's too wet. The white pen won't work. That came out kind of nice. This looks like trash. It's like, look, they got arm hair. Kind of is he an eagle? I don't know if I should color. Should I color this moss? He has some moss on him because he's like been sitting in like this enchanted forest where the battle happened before his master was defeated. So he's been kind of sitting there for like hundreds of years in this forest, this just like giant enchanted forest. just like having moss and like roots and shit growing on him until he gets like reactivated again. And then that's why he has like this is moss on him. Let's see. I don't want to make it the same color, but I ran out of greens. And I don't want to do brown. I got a vivid green. I got one more green up my sleeve. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty bad with sometimes when the live streams happen. Oh, that was an awesome green. I missed out on that one. And I'm like at work. Sometimes I'll pull it up on my phone while I'm like closing the shop. And then I'll just leave it on my phone and I'll just hook it up to my car and then just have it play like a podcast while I'm driving. But I have to like put it face down and like put it somewhere, otherwise I'll be tempted to look at it, and that's not good. Let's see. It's dark. Yeah, man, whatever. Yeah, whatever, man. Just do it. Yeah, it's turning out kind of neat. Are you on Twitter at all, Ray? I don't know if you're on Twitter. You can just search JBot Art and I'll pop up. I'm thinking what I might do is for these little streams like this. I mean, as long as in the United States, I might just send the artwork to people, that watch the stream. I think that'll be something kind of neat. I almost want to color this guy. Yeah, it should be actually if it's JBot2K, I think is what the actual account is called. Yeah, JBot2K, or if you search JBot Art, I should pop up. But yeah, maybe shoot me a DM or something. I think I have my DMs open or whatever. And I'll follow you back too. But yeah, I think I might send on these little streams. I'll send the art out. I'm trying to think what'll make them pop. What if I maybe outline them in a gray? Maybe I should do the green. Yeah, that's how I was with Twitter too, man. If I didn't have my art, I wouldn't even be on Twitter. If I wasn't like following like other creators, and there's a lot of nice art on there, which is cool. So definitely Twitter's a nice spot to like, find art or find like live streams that can help you with your art, things like that. That's cool for that. But man, is it easy to go down a horrible rabbit hole. Especially with politics and crap like that too, man. It's just like, ugh. Should I do a green outline or a gray outline? You pick. I'll let you pick. Green. All right. Green it is. All right, nice. Is this a 3? Let's try a little bit of something in the background. Damn, that's a 3. That's kind of dark for a 3. Jesus. That's right. I'll switch my caps on these mugs. Damn. I might try lighter though. Well, we're gonna make that green too. Ah, son of a bitch. Jab my damn hand. Okay. What was this one? Is this the one I wanted? Did I want 2? I think this was 2. This is the color I wanted. Dang it. Ah, well, what you gonna do? Yeah, I like this damn empty space up here. Drive me crazy. Yeah, more I mess with them, worse I make it. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that's it. I think I'm done with it. I'm gonna stop touching it. It's yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it came out all right. All right. Let's see. Uh-uh. It is you Osama Maki. Usama Maki Rain. Oh, cool. Yeah, you are. Cool. I'll follow you anyway, bud. Especially if you're liking cool art and stuff. I'll post this on the Twitter so you can see it better. Do, do, do. Boop. Well, I don't think I'll do a bunch of hashtags on this one. Cool. I'm taking a tag you in the tweet there. At least maybe you can see it. Yeah, I'm just weird. It looks way better in person, in my opinion. You're probably like, no, it doesn't, man. It's horrible. Cool, man. Well, thanks for streaming with me, bud, and keeping me company and chatting and stuff. Hope that was cool. But yeah, that's it. There we go. And I'm gonna call it a night because it's late on my end over here, and I gotta work in the morning. So, but again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. Like this is kind of what my streams are gonna be about. I'm just gonna chill. Some of my past ones too, I use because sometimes it'll be crazy around here. I'll just like stream lo-fi hip hop and like lo-fi beats while I draw, and then I won't even have my mic on. You just hear music, and even that's kind of neat too. And then I'll just type in the chat and stuff. So, but hey, man, thanks. I followed you. I tagged you also on the Twitter posts and stuff like that too. And yeah, yeah, if you want to shoot me a DM or whatever, man, I'll send this over to you. As long as you're in the States, it won't cost me a lot. I'll just shoot it over to you, priority mail or whatever. I think it'd be like $5 or whatever. So it's no biggie. But yeah, I'll shoot this over to you, bud, for keeping me company. All right, man. Well, thanks for tuning in. And hey, take it easy. Stay safe out there, guys.